What's going on, everyone? I'm John S. Sandberg. Before we start, I want to set a little bit of context around this video. This video was created to achieve two different goals. Goal number one is actually for self-development purposes. Every year, I set annual and quarterly goals for myself. And things I plan for 2020 is to improve my communication skills. And given that English is not my primary language, I think this challenge will become a little bit more interesting. And second goal is to use this content to communicate both internally and externally to help our company grow even faster. And during the topics, we'll talk about the challenges and the problems we're solving at Sandberg to help build hopefully a significant B2B company. And we can hopefully use this dialogue to help communicate and again, help our company grow even faster. So with that said, today we'll talk a little bit about the early days of Sandberg, how we began as a B2C company and then pivoted into B2B company, and also starting out as an international company out of Korea, coming into US, into Silicon Valley, and relocating our headquarters here. So now taking a kind of a step back, we all began this journey around early 2013 in February. So we started out with a company called Smile Family. We were building this online community for moms where other moms in your area can find moms with similar age kids, set up play dates, do Q&As, buy and sell used baby products and things like that. So for the first 2.5 years, probably close to 3 years, we've been focusing on building this B2C application and growing the community. So we had grown to about 250,000 users around the world, and most of the users were located in the United States. So we actually applied to Y Combinator with that idea, which we got rejected ultimately. It was very sad and gut-wrenching, but we kept on focusing on growing this community. And it was around 2014 or 15 when we realized that a lot of our users were having this long conversation in the comment section. Comments were getting to 400 comments, 500 comments, to a point where the comments had no relevance to the main content itself. So they were simply having a conversation there. And it was around when Mary Meeker came out with the report saying messaging app took over the world. Messaging app was the single most used apps in any country around the world, whether it be WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Telegram, Line, Kakao, WeChat, anywhere around the world, messaging app were the most used apps. So we kind of connected those dots and thought to ourselves, maybe we want to add a chat feature for our own application. So we started out as a buyer's journey. We first tried to build it in-house. We looked at all the open sources out there. We tried out with a couple of ones. We ran into a couple of structural issues, having the structure being not flexible enough to customize different user experience, or some of them had limitation around scalability, couldn't scale beyond a single instance. So we kind of had to scrap that. And our take two was to go using other real-time database solutions like Firebase. And then we kind of realized, okay, this is really easy to quickly build a simple chat application. But again, adding the shiny, bells and whistles or changing the architecture here and there, it was really, really difficult. So we also ended up, ripping that out and then ultimately built the entire chat stack ourselves. It was a very, very, frustrating for us because, we're not a chat company. We're just simply trying to add a chat feature for our B2C application. And then we didn't really, think twice about what we did. We kept on, growing a community, but that was around the time when our friends started, reaching out and asking similar questions like, hey, we saw your app added a chat feature. What did you guys use? So we kind of walked them through the experience we had. And they simply, jumped to a conclusion and said, you know what? We don't want to go through all the process. Why don't we just can we just use your stuff? We're like, of course not. Say it was our stuff and we're a B2C company. We're never gonna, sell our software. And then, but it was around the time when we, our growth rate kind of slowed down. We were kind of running out of money. So we had to think about alternatives. And we kind of thought about this opportunity of selling the technology that we built. So we started, quoting these random prices, like how about $50 a month? Because, so I was a chief engineer. I didn't want to pay a lot of, money for software. and our friends started accepting $50 payments. Then how about $150? So we had this handful of customers in a couple of months. So we applied to Y Combinator again with that idea, and this time we got accepted. So we launched to the world in January in 2016. And then since then, fast forward 4 years, we are now hosting about 100 million people who chat through our platform every single month. We have over 170 people around the world. We're headquartered in San Mateo. We have a big office in Seoul, Korea. We're now having people in New York, London, Germany, Singapore, and India. So we've grown quite a bit since then. And so that's kind of how we pivoted from a B2C company to a B2B company. It was a really, really painful process, but in the end, it was totally worth it, obviously. And then also part of starting out as a Korean company, entering the US market, settling down here and kind of like getting everyone to pack up and relocate to the United States and things like that was also quite a challenge. But what really helped us make that, take the leap of faith was, obviously thanks to Y Combinator, we were given the right advice. We were able to fundraise at the demo day, also connect with a lot of alumni network who were able to connect us with the right folks to really, make those changes and be able to accelerate our learning. So that's kind of how we went and then became a US-based company. So hopefully that was helpful. And then I guess in the next video, we can talk a little bit about, getting your first 100 customers and, hiring your early employees and things like that. So thank you for watching, and then looking forward to the next video.